Welcome back, everybody. You are watching my channel, Luke's Life Lifting. I am Luke Voorhees, and today we are going to talk about the basics, the fundamentals of lifting weights. So the first thing you need to know, there are two basic ways that you can train lifting weights: strength and hypertrophy. Strength is pretty self-explanatory. You're training to be as strong as you possibly can. And the second is hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is muscle growth, training for the most mass that you can possibly get. So the main difference between strength and hypertrophy training is low and high reps. Strength training typically is lower reps, higher weight. The people that typically use this are power lifters, weightlifters, Olympic weightlifters. As for hypertrophy, rep ranges are usually around 12 to 15. And the main people that use that are bodybuilders and your typical gym goer whose goals is to gain mass. Now that you know the different kinds of weight training, let's move on to what exactly we're training. So there are a couple major muscle groups on your body that are typically trained and split up throughout the week. So you have chest, shoulders, back, biceps, legs, which include calves, and a lot of people separate triceps. All those muscle groups are split up throughout the week into what we call a workout split. So for example, my workout split is chest shoulders on Monday and Thursday, back biceps on Tuesdays and Fridays, and legs, calves, and triceps on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Now there are a bunch of different ways to split. My split is 6 days. There are 2-day splits, there are 3-day splits, 4-day splits, 5-day, 7-day. It doesn't matter, it depends on how much you want to train. Now how you split up your workouts can affect how much progress you can make over the course of a year. For example, if you're only training one muscle group one time per week, you're not going to make as much progress perhaps as me, who trains all muscle groups 2 days per week, because I split up 2 groups per day. But there are people that argue with that philosophy and say that you can make the same or more gains working out one group of muscles per day. But we don't need to get into philosophical debate throughout all this. All I'm doing is explaining the fundamentals so you can choose what you want to do. Now that we know everything that's split up, we'll talk about the major exercises. So we have what are called the compound exercises, and these are the major movements that need to be included, in my opinion, in every workout possible every week. One major compound movement is a bench press. I bench press on Mondays and Thursdays, or chest and shoulders days. Also on those days, I overhead press. That's an often forgotten compound movement, which I neglected to do for a long time in my training. And now I implement it in every chest and shoulder day, and it's helped my progress throughout the way. Another major compound that's very well known is the deadlift. I deadlift on back days, Tuesdays and Fridays. The deadlift is one of the most important movements. It helps with everything. It helps with back strength, it helps with leg strength, quad strength, arm strength, shoulder strength. It trains it all. If you had to pick one compound movement to do, the deadlift, in my opinion, is one of the more important, for sure. Maybe the most important. Another compound movement I do on back and biceps day is straight bar curls or easy bar curls. Now in my opinion, some curls are compound movements and others are not. An easy bar curl with a straight bar or a curl bar is a compound movement because it's a lot easier to overload than if you were just curling with dumbbells. And the final major compound movement is squats. Most weeks I squat on Wednesdays and Saturdays unless I'm having a really rough leg week, in which case I won't squat on Saturdays. But squatting is a major leg day movement and the major movement for building big, strong legs. Now, though some people will argue with me, I will say that there is one more major compound movement, and that is the lat pull down. This is one of the biggest movements for building big, wide lats, and I always include it on every back and bicep day. Now that we have the major compounds out of the way, we can talk about some of the more auxiliary movements. Anything that's not considered a major compound is just an additional auxiliary movement. Things like tricep skull crushers, dumbbell curls, cable crossovers, cable flies, shoulder flies, and other movements such as that. Now these auxiliary movements to me are secondary during a workout, and the most important thing you can do during a workout is the major compounds, and then after that build in some of the auxiliary movement. Now if you're just a beginner and just starting out, what you want to do is start basic with the compound movements at the lowest possible weight. Don't worry about weight when you're just starting out. It's not important. What's more important is understanding the basic form, getting everything right before you start adding weight on the bar. Not only can you injure yourself, but if you do too much weight in the gym on a movement you're not familiar with, especially on a big compound, you run the risk of looking stupid and getting hurt. The most important aspect of weightlifting is patience. You're not going to lift 300 pounds overnight. That's not going to happen. It's all about slow progress on all your big compound movements that really build your body. Now, in terms of determining exactly what your workout plan is, do some research other than this video. Look at other plans, how other people structure their workouts, how other people split their workouts, and other auxiliary movements that people include in their workouts. There's plenty to learn about the fundamentals outside this one video. This is the basic overview. So do your research, find and compare plans that will contribute to you progressing towards your goals. If I've left anything unanswered, or if there's any other questions you have, please comment them down below. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and comment, and stay tuned for the next video.
Yeah! That's it. That's all I have.